Hello, welcome to the best Smash Ups in Smash Up, a video series where we look at a faction from Smash Up, its mechanics, and what it pairs well with. Today we're no longer in Cease and Desist, we are now in It's Your Fault, an expansion where voters got to choose which factions would appear in the box. However, we were surprised to find a fifth faction in that box. I remember when the box first came out, everyone was puzzled over the little thing in the corner that said Shark Delivery System included. And when we finally got our box, we were very surprised to find that fifth faction to be Tornadoes. The Tornadoes are a standard deck with 10 actions and 10 minions with your regular 1/5, 2 4s, 3 3s, and 4 2s. When we look at their main mechanics, it's a pretty one-note deck doing mostly one thing. Move minions around. I know, fitting. 90% of your deck, or 18 out of your 20 cards, pretty much exclusively move minions. Like, that's it. I could just leave it at that, but let's look at the three types of movement you have. Half of these movement cards are going to move just your minions. Your 4 Dust Devils will move before a base scores. Over the Rainbow moves one of your minions before a base scores. Cyclone has a moving talent. Gone with the Wind moves one of your minions after a base scores. And Whirlwinds moves any number of your minions to other bases. The other half don't really specify that they have to be your minions, so you can move you or someone else. You've got 3 Twisters, which may move a minion of power 3 or less from here to another base, or vice versa. Your boss minion, Monster Tornado, has a nice talent. Move a minion of power 4 or less from here to another base, or vice versa. It's fun to keep him out the whole game. Has anyone ever had this guy out on a birthday party base? It's so mean. I love it. Your 2 Carried Away cards simply move a minion to another base. Picked Up will do this too, but is a special before base scores. And your 2 Trade Winds move 2 minions of power 3 or less on another base. Okay, pause real quick. The artwork of this card confused me for years. Like, I guess that's the saucy wench from the pirate deck, who's been strangely super cartoonized, even though the rest of this deck doesn't do that. But I've always wondered what that weird pink bird with a beard was, and I looked it up today and found out, look, it's a sideways Pinky from the Mythic Horses deck. I am blown away. Okay, sorry, I'm moving on. With all this movement here, while you won't have the nice benefits of extra minion and action play, you will have a lot of control of who is on what base. Finally, your last type of movement is the kind that's pretty last second, or what we call in this game special, before a base scores movement. You've got 6 cards that do this. Your 4 Dust Devils are really good at moving on to breaking bases. While you won't be surprising anyone because their ability is right out there in the open, the fact that it says may gives you a lot of power and that you can jump on if you want to, or you can hold out. Yeah, while these guys are prone to destruction, they're one of my favorite 2 powers in this game because of the flexibility they give you. Your Over the Rainbow card can let one of your minions jump on a base out of nowhere. This can be really great if you have one of your higher power minions and Gone with the Wind in your hand. Finally, Picked Up doesn't specify one of your minions, so you can do a similar trick or get an opponent off of a base so you can either beat their power number or take the base alone, giving them no points. So there's the Tornado deck for you. It's worth noting you'll also be able to destroy a base and any actions on it with Not in Kansas, and you'll be able to transfer an action even in opponents with Ripped Off. But other than that, you're just hurling stuff around. So, what pairs well with these guys? Well, sometimes too much of a good thing is a better thing. Movement mixed with more movement means landing on new bases and never just sticking to one base. Yes, this curious combo I'm talking about is the Exploring Tornadoes. If you've watched my video on Explorers, I have actually talked about this combo before. Because the Explorers benefit so much from movement, their benefits are just explosive with this combo. For instance, you have 3 Crypt Looters and 2 Lost City cards which play extra minions on new bases that come out. Without a good movement partner, you sometimes find these Crypt Looters and minions you played with Lost City sitting on bases where you don't want them to be. Your Tornadoes will quickly move them where they should be instead. Your 4 Glory Hounds and your 2 Lost City cards allow you to manipulate the base deck, which is extra nice when you have the ability to hurl your opponents anywhere you want to, because now you can set up some unfavorable bases with negative abilities or some super high breakpoint bases, straining them there for the rest of the game. You have another before/after a base scores card thrown into your arsenal with You Call This Archaeology, allowing you to keep your boss minions in the game even longer. With all the extra movement from Tornadoes, Guide becomes even stronger ongoing. After the first time each of your minions moves in a turn, it gains +1 power until the end of the turn. Notice how nice this would be with a few of your Dust Devils out. Forgotten Horrors can also be spammed with Tornadoes. Play on a base ongoing after you play a minion here or play a card that moves your minions to here, draw a card and transfer this action to another base. You can easily get multiple draws if you use this right, creating a pretty unstoppable card draw engine. Between the two of these decks, you can move enemy minions around all the time, so no one can really be sure where they are, which is really frustrating for your opponent, and we all know that frustrating your opponent is one of the greatest joys in Smash Up, right? Speaking of moving your opponents around all the time, let's transition to our next pairing. This one will not only help you with moving your enemy to unfavorable bases, you'll also be able to destroy them when that happens. If you know Smash Up, you know which combo I'm about to say. Bear Cavalry Tornadoes. So, you like moving your enemy. These Russians will help you do it a lot more. You have 8 more cards that will do it. Your 3 Bear Cavalry cards move another player's minion from here to another base. You've got 2 Commission cards, play an extra minion, then move another player's minion from the extra minion's base to another base. You've got 2 You're Screwed cards, choose a base where you have a minion, move another player's minion from there to one other base. And you're pretty much borscht. Choose a base where you have a minion, move all other players' minions from there to another base. So this combination will give you 17 out of your 40 cards, nearly half your deck that can move your opponent's minions. If that doesn't terrify your opponent enough, this next part will. Say goodbye to your opponent's 2 power minions. If you have one of your 4 Cub Scouts available out, you'll be able to easily use its ability. Ongoing after another player's minion moves here, if it has less power than this minion, destroy it. Even better is High Ground. Play on a base, ongoing if you have a minion here, destroy any other player's minion that moves here. If we learned anything from Star Wars, it's that you can't beat someone if they have the high ground. If you can keep this card out the whole game, then, well, good luck to your opponent ever keeping a minion alive longer than a turn, as you'll be most likely destroying a multitude of their minions. But moving on, movement decks aren't the only thing that pair well with Tornadoes. The last combo that we're going to talk about today diversifies your deck a bit more, and you still get the benefits from movement, and honestly, you can just tell these decks were literally designed to be paired by the name alone. Yes, I'm talking about Sharknado! Tornadoes can help out the Sharks a lot. They can position your 3 Hammerheads where a kill is about to happen to gain a +1 power counter. They can move your 4 Makos, who are sometimes just dropped as extra minions, but not necessarily where you wanted them to be. They can get your 2 Great Whites off of a base of a minion that you want to destroy so that it can jump back on for the kill, or the opposite, where you go and kill someone and then you can bring him back. Also, opponents tend to avoid bases where your actions like your 2 Blood in the Water cards are, where you'll get to play an extra minion after destruction, or especially Dangerous Waters, where their minions will be very susceptible to destruction due to having -2 power on your turn. Finally, the Tornado's lack of extra anything is going to be accommodated by the Sharks' extra minion play with your 4 Makos and your 2 Blood in the Waters, and you'll get extra cards with ongoing draws from your 2 Week of Sharks cards, and Torn Apart. Moving your opponents to bases where killing them is easier and you get benefits from killing them is the true joy of Sharknado, and you are missing out if you don't give this deck a shot. So once again, be sure to try the Tornadoes out with the Explorers, the Bear Cavalry, and the Sharks. That is it for the Tornadoes. A few final things. First, some shout-outs. Let's shout out to Bird20, who discovered the Exploring Tornadoes, Pippin Hood, who suggested the Bear Cavalry combo, and Kid Thulu, love the name Kid Thulu, who brought the famous Sharknado combo into our conversation. Honorable mention goes to the Elves. If you want a shout out in the next video, be sure to put a high voted comment on our next thread for our next video, which will be over the superhero. So go to reddit.com/r/SmashUp, leave a comment there. In Smash Up news, we've got a lot of spoilers coming out for the next expansion that'll come out this spring called That 70s expansion. It's going to have disco dancers, vigilantes, the Kung Fu Fighters, and the Truckers. Should be interesting. Finally, if you liked this video, be sure to like this video and comment below to let me know what your thoughts are on this. And of course, subscribe. Yeah, subscribe right there. If you want to watch some of my other videos, they are right here. Alright, I'll see you next time.